Well, hello there,
Hi there.
and welcome to Needles at the Ready.
I like the softer side of Needles at the Ready.
Softer side of
The
Sears.
softer side of Sears. Aw. Those
R.I.P. Sears.
children
No, just
will
kidding.
not understand these days.
They won't. So, welcome to Needles at the Ready. I am Kevin.
I am Ray.
Today is Saturday, January 4th, 2025. This is
What?
episode 126 of our YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing, and buying, and all the other fun things that go along with that.
It's our podiversary.
It's close to it. Our podiversary, I think, is the 8th.
Well, we're not going to podcast again before the 8th.
No, we won't. So this is technically
Happy podiversary,
Happy
Kevin.
podiversary. It's been 4
Glorious years.
since the channel was started.
Yep.
Episodes 1 and 2 were just me, and Ray decided to crash the party on episode 3. And then life happened, and it just worked out where we could do this every other Saturday.
I'm like one of those pimples that won't go away.
True. True.
Well, it's been a lovely 4 years. We have met some incredible people along the way. Learned
have.
a lot about ourselves and
Have
our
we?
crafts.
Well.
Yeah. You know, I am feeling very loving today, and
I will
I'm just gonna
say,
sip on my coffee.
though I was thinking about it on Christmas Day, how fortunate we are to have started the channel and the
Yeah.
people that we met, because there are so many people that we met because of the channel that we sent text messages to saying Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah, and we wouldn't know these people if it weren't for the channel, I don't think.
I agree with you.
So
100%.
that's the benefit of starting this on
Yeah.
starting it on a whim, was that we just made really great friends along the way.
We did.
So-
So thank you all out there for watching and joining and commenting and interacting and saying hello when we see you in person. We certainly can't do this without you. You give us a lot of motivation to keep going. So thank you, huge thank you for liking and subscribing and joining along. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we usually don't ask that, but
No, we don't.
go ahead down below and hit that subscribe button.
Do you think we did that like a lot in year 1?
I have no idea. I don't remember year 1. I don't remember year 4.
I don't
to be
remember.
honest.
I don't remember episode 125. So.
Yeah, same. But here we are.
So we'll jump into it.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do some admin-y stuff real quick. So we wrapped up our Badass Brioche knit along.
We did. How did you do? Did you finish?
I'm so badass I didn't even start.
That's right. I did it in my head.
So we finished that up. We were hosting that with the ladies over at the Skein Scoop podcast, Lori and Justine. Lori is the owner of Skein Yarn Shop in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
I was almost going to wear my Skein Scoop or my Skein Yarn Shop sweatshirt today.
Oh, you should have.
Yeah.
And then
I'm being very chill today.
Justine's the muscle over there at Skein. So we love them. We got to spend a lot of time with them in December, so that's always fun. And we'll see them in 2 weeks.
We sure will, because we decided that we are going to be going to Vogue.
Knitting Live.
Yep, in New York City.
On the 18th, I think Saturday the 18th, if I'm not mistaken.
We're on the fence about if we're going to go back on Sunday. We're kind of figuring out if we want to stay in the city or just take the train up for the day.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely be there on Saturday. No idea what time we'll arrive, but we'll be there at some point.
We'll be there at some point. Yeah. So that is wrapped up. That was strictly on Instagram.
Yep.
Cal, it was knitting the shawl, I think, Briolicious? Or did I make that up last
You
time?
made that up.
What was the name of it?
All about that brioche.
Thank you. All about that brioche. And we saw some lovely versions on Instagram.
Yeah,
so that's
and
really
it was
great.
really great to hear your stories. Thanks for the motivation to try brioche for the first time. So you're very welcome. I'm glad we were able to take part in that and have some of that done.
I hit the table. What else did I say that we wanted to talk about? Oh, all right. So that's admin-y thing 1. Admin-y thing 2 is we've taken part in this in the past, but the ladies over at Cocktail Hour at the Coop, Liz and Leanne from Arrow Acre Farms.
I actually want to reach out to Leanne to see if she'll maybe do some...
We say that all the time.
Some
and we
work
need
with
to,
us.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll work with us.
So they are hosting, they do this every year. It is the New to You Mal.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is try something new. If you're a knitter, try a new stitch. If you're a crocheter, try a new stitch. You don't have to finish anything. You just have to try something new. I'm trying to see if there are... So it goes from January 1st to February 28th.
We're in.
You can post pictures on Instagram using the hashtag NewToYouMal2025 and include a comment of what is new to you. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. And then there are prizes. We will be a prize donor this year, so that's really exciting. And I have to decide what I'm going to do for New to You. I have an idea, but it's really bad idea.
Okay. Do you want to talk it out here? Because now you just
no, because it's a whole new hobby.
No, Kevin.
I was watching videos.
You're not turning wood. No. We cannot put another.
No, it's going to be whittling.
You're not whittling. Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know. I was like, oh, those are cute little trees and chickens, and I could whittle.
But there's a lot to go into it. People are very talented, and it's very sharp knives.
They are, and you wear protective gloves. I'm just saying, that was something I thought about. I didn't make any purchases yet. So, yes. So
I enjoy coming home from work and putting nursing on the shelf for a little while.
So definitely take part in the New to You Mal 2025. Anything that you want to try that you haven't done before.
Yeah. I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I will talk about it towards our acquisitions phase. We're in phase. We do phases in the podcast. Segments. Thanks. I like phases. Phase 1. We just chat about nothing for 28 minutes.
That's basically it.
That's an underlying phase. Anyway, I'll talk about it towards the acquisitions piece because I got I said piece. I don't know what we're doing. I'll talk about it later.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about, I meant to do this in the last podcast.
Yeah.
And I forgot. So Joyce Knits and Sews. We showed it before. We have her cone winder.
Yeah.
Right?
That got a lot of work in Rhinebeck this year. At Rhinebeck
It really did. So they also make accessories for like circular sock machines. But she's also come out with a hat machine. So it looks very similar to a sock machine. And it's 4 hats. They are currently sold out, but they're going to be ready to ship, it looks like in February. So if you want to get on a wait list for that, you can email joycenitsandsews@gmail.com. We'll put that down below. So I know that they're making one. And I also saw, I believe that Daedalus, who I have my e-spinner from, is making one as well. And Daedalus is also working, I think, from what I saw, on a actual circular sock knitting machine.
Wow.
So check out Joyce Knits and Sews Instagram and email if you are interested.
I kind of want one of those hat machines.
I mean, it would be great.
I know.
I don't know. So we can't speak of the difference between those and like the AliExpress.
Right. I've never,
because a lot of people do those and do the cinched hats.
Yep.
We would not be able to give any informative information and differences between the two.
Are you basically saying don't ask us?
No, I'm just saying
those
like
little dolls are.
I know. I'm just saying we couldn't speak to the difference between those two things because people.
Well, exciting to see how to see some feedback from them.
Yes,
for people who have maybe gotten them
and there was
on the waiting list.
One other thing that we literally just talked about downstairs.
Well, the Socks for Sam knit along is still going on. We have a section in our Ravelry group. Just for people to post. We have an amazing prize. We've gotten some sock donations sent to us, which is great. We're happy to pass those along. But if you go to and follow the information down below of this podcast, as well as on our Ravelry group, there is the address to send the socks directly to Sam. Which is probably an easier route. Again, like I said, we're happy to be a middleman, but we'll just be a middleman and your socks won't get there probably for a little while because we
have some to send. Is what he's saying.
Yeah. I think...
So I think that's that.
Yeah. And as we talk about our whips, we are taking part in one additional make along. Which is really, really fun. And it's for no prizes or anything like that. It's just for something to do with a group of friends and anybody who would like to join along. So we'll talk about that during our whip phase.
Yes. So then I guess we'll just kind of talk about our 2 weeks really quick. I'm sure like everybody, it's been a whirlwind. We went through Christmas and New Year's. Christmas we had, I think it was supposed to be, what was it? Supposed to be 15 and then we ended up with 13, or it was 13 and we ended up with 11.
No, it was 15.
And then we
ended up with 13.
So we had 13 people over. All of the gifts were brought to our house from other houses to give to all the grandchildren. And
there were 3 high chairs and there were 5 grandchildren. 5 of our nieces and nephews here.
2 high chairs only, I think. Yeah, 2 high chairs.
Because one sat on Amanda's lap.
Yeah. Elle sat with Richie, and Roman was in the high chair. So, yeah, so it was a lot of work.
Yes. But it was nice to see everybody at once.
Actually, speaking of that, too, so I had, like, just kind of, not all of it, but a little bit of documentation of cooking, like, the day of Christmas. And somebody had asked about the pumpkin bread, and then I think in the last podcast, somebody asked about the magic bars that I brought to Skane. So I figured I'd share. Typically, when I look for recipes, I get the majority of my recipes from allrecipes.com. The magic bar recipe that I used is the Eagle brand magic bar recipe. And then you could just like customize it however you'd like. Like I used butterscotch chips in one, peanut butter chips in the other.
Those were good.
And then I used the Down East Maine pumpkin bread recipe on all recipes. And I make 2 changes to it. I cut out a cup of white sugar and I put in a cup or a half a cup of brown sugar. And then I also add some maple syrup in it. Mm-hmm. And it makes 2 loaves of pumpkin bread. So I do one plain and then I put chocolate chips in the other. And yeah, but that's typically where I go for like recipes.
And they are absolutely delicious.
So if you're ever looking for something, I would highly recommend all recipes first.
What's your favorite way to eat the pumpkin bread?
It depends on my mood. So sometimes I like putting peanut butter on it.
That's my favorite.
Sometimes I like toasting it and just putting butter on it.
I like, I tried it with cream cheese. It was really good too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that I tried that.
Yeah. I bet it would be good with like a cinnamon infused cream cheese.
No, you know what? And I think I did this one year where I made this cinnamon butter.
Yeah.
I think I did a cinnamon honey butter and that was really good. So yes, so that was kind of our Christmas.
I haven't done that in a while. I used to hate that when I did that.
I still dislike it. Because you remind me of Hannibal Lecter. It's no, stop. Oh, gross. Go.
Go. Where do you want me to go?
I don't know. And then the only other thing we had was New Year's Eve, and those plans got adjusted. Your brother was sick. Our niece was sick. We typically hang out in like PJs and eat apps and play games and watch the ball drop. So it ended up just being the 2 of us at home that night, and we watched TV.
Yep. We watched movies.
We watched some Christmas movies, I think.
Did we?
I don't know, actually.
I don't remember what we watched.
We could be wrong. Who knows?
But I remember like we kept looking at each other like, okay, 4 more hours to go.
Yeah, we were like, oh man, is it?
I mean, we didn't have to stay up to watch the ball drop, but it was nice. I'm glad that we ended up doing that.
Yeah, we had a couple adult beverages, watched the ball drop, and then we went to bed at like...
Right. We didn't have champagne, so we toasted in 2025 with some White Zinfandel.
Yeah. Way to be.
I don't know how we ended up with a small bottle of White Zinfandel, but...
And then the last thing we did is, just this past Thursday, we went to visit Stars Hollow Yarn Shop in Washington, Connecticut. We have been meaning to go for who knows how long, and then I watched Nitty Natty's episode where she's been doing a thing where she visits a yarn store in every state. In Connecticut, she visited Stars Hollow.
Right.
So I watched that and I was like, oh man, it's a really cute store. We really have to make an effort to get there. And it just worked out where you were off Thursday.
Yep.
We had nothing going on. So we were like, all right, let's just make the drive and go. So we did. And it's a cute shop. The drive is really pretty.
It was a really pretty drive. It's mostly back roads. Half of it was back roads.
Yeah. So it's an hour drive from our house.
Yeah.
And the first half is like whatever, Route 25, and then the rest of it's all back roads. So the next half an hour.
Although 25 is not necessarily a highway. Like once you get...
But it's a main route.
Yeah. It's still a pretty drive too in some parts of 25.
It is. So yeah, it looks like it's kind of in an old house. There's yarn on the first and second floor. It is a very like Gilmore Girls themed shop. So you have some like quotes and stuff on the second floor. The owner is a huge Gilmore Girls fan. Try not to trip over that word again.
You did good.
So yeah, and they definitely have some yarns that I haven't seen in other shops in Connecticut.
Right.
So that was really, really nice. I think they're a
flagship
for Woolfolk. Is that right?
Is it Woolfolk? Yeah, it might be Woolfolk.
I think it's Woolfolk. So they have like every type of Woolfolk yarn.
Yeah.
They have some Garthenor, which
I know I was this close to getting some.
After watching Nitty, I didn't know this, but watching Nitty Daddy's episode, I think they're only one of 2 stores in the U.S. who carry it.
That was you?
I don't know. Everything, all my Apple devices just like went nuts over here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it was a really, really nice shop to visit. Definitely, it's like I said, yarns that we haven't seen. A lot of blue sky fiber too. A ton of blue sky fiber. And one of my favorite yarns, actually, and it's one of the very first like fancy yarns I think that I bought, was the Fiber Co. Acadia. I did my first Stephen West, not Clockwork. What's the other one? Groove shawl out of it with cables. Mine's in the brown and blue.
Didn't one of those you do buttons and didn't you make 2 of them?
I did. You have one and I have one.
I don't have a Groove. I have Clockwork.
I did 2, and I think I just gave one away on Christmas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But
one of our favorite things to do at Christmas time is we go through our hats and shawls and all of those things, and anything that we don't wear anymore, that we want to, or, that we've never worn, we put into like a big bin, and we have everybody kind of go through and they can take what they would like as like a little parting gift.
Yeah, Riley took us.
It was cute.
She took a cowl.
Yeah.
She's 2 years old and she took a cowl. Reese took a headband and a hat.
Yeah.
Dominic got a hat that we sent to him after the fact. I sent it home with Richie the following day.
Okay, nice.
Our sister-in-law's mom took a couple shawls. So, yeah, people get stuff. It's nice. It's a nice way to repurpose some of your knits.
And then that they'll wear them. If they get this way, they get to choose what they would like.
Yeah. What was actually really cute about this, and I don't know if you overheard this, Reese, for her hat, she's like, how do I wash this?
Oh, did she ask that? Really?
She's like, do I put this in the washing machine? And I was like, well, this one, no, because I knew it was a non-super wash. It was Knit Picks, like Wool of the Andes, non-super wash. But I was like, no, this one you can't. But I thought it was really
She's so knitworthy.
That she knew to ask.
Yep.
And that she did ask. So that was fun.
She is 100% like the most knitworthy kid I've ever met. She loves hearing and seeing what we're working on. Like, it's cute. She's kind of grown up around it, so she knows.
All right, so that's kind of our 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're going to jump into some knitting. I have 3 FOs. 2 of them are not with me. And I think it's 4 whips.
Oops. Wow. All right, I have 3 FOs. One of them's not with me. I have 1 hoe. And I have maybe 3 to 4 to 5
whips. All right, so let's talk about the ones that we don't have with us.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so
I didn't bring up my iPad.
For Christmas, we knit all of the kids their Christmas gifts. And a few days beforehand, realized that I wasn't going to be able to finish the gift that I wanted to make Riley. I was having some issues with the sweater that I've been working on, so I had to pivot, and I needed to find something to make for her. That wouldn't take a lot of time. So I ended up making her 2 items. I used Needles at the Ready yarn, the Achilles DK, so it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon in the colorway. It's Just a Little Crush.
It's just
And I knit her a snow globe hat by Tin Can Knits. And I knit her the world's simplest mitts, also by Tin Can Knits. Each one I worked on, each one for one day, and blocked them. What was really nice after, I think the day after Christmas, our sister-in-law sent a message saying that the mitts fit Riley perfectly, and she always has trouble finding mitts where the cuffs are long enough for her.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see, because I have a picture of Riley wearing them somewhere. So yeah, so that was really good to know. So I will probably do that for the next couple of years as she grows, just continue to make some mitts for her.
I ended up doing a...
Oh, hold on.
Oh my god, so cute.
So here's Riley with her mitts and her hat.
I can't. These kids are absolutely out of control. I made her a stuffed octopus, because I think that they're really cute.
And you weren't confident in the fact that I might get her Christmas gift done, so we needed something.
Yes, you ran into the troubles, like you said. You needed to pivot with the sweater, and then instead of saying like, I'm just going to knit a simple hat.
It is simple.
Okay. Yes, but you decided on the snow globe hat, which is cables and things like that.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do some mittens. So I had some anxiety because it was like 3 days before Christmas. So I felt like, okay, well, just in case that falls through, let's do something quick. So I did a cute little crocheted octopus, which I think he's absolutely adorable.
He is. My mother loved that when she came over. You were still upstairs, like, just finishing up your shower when they came over.
Yeah.
She loved that octopus.
It's really a cute, it was a cute, and it took me, I don't even know, an hour and a half to do this octopus.
Do you know what the pattern is?
I do. It's called the No Sew, how do I get rid of this ad? It's one of those patterns that I couldn't find like a printed pattern, so it was just one of those, like, I googled chunky octopus patterns or whatever. So I did omit the bow. There's a cute little bow that goes in the octopus's head, and the octopi that you see in here, like, they're all solid colors, so they had like a contrasting bow. I just used that chunky yarn that I had. So anyway, it's called the No Sew Chunky Octopus pattern. It's by the Yarn Bowl Crochet. We'll have that listed down below, so you can see how cute the little bows are. And I think that they look great in the solid colors. Yeah. But I really like... I had the leftover...
I put it away.
Oh, so I used Red Heart...
No, Bernat.
I think it was the Red Heart Giant Cakes.
You use it... We've shown it a lot because you used it in a blanket.
I used it in that blanket that I had done. It was like that really, really thick, bulky, like chenille type of yarn. It just happened to come in like a gigantic cake. It's like humongous. But you can use really anything, and I found it very, very simple to do. You do the head, and then you do the tentacles, and it's really just creating a chain, and it's a free pattern. It's just creating a chain, and then doing some crochet stitches in the chain. It creates like a little spiral, which I think is really, really cute. So
nice.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video for it as well to kind of walk you through everything. But I thought it was very easy. You just need to know how to single crochet two together, make a chain, and do treble crochets. So that's like a triple stitch crochet. So, and I did on the recommended hook size. I can't find it here now, but I wish I had it with me because it was really cute. I'll probably make another one, and I'm sure you can make them.
You can make it for the twins.
You don't have to use the chunky the chunky yarn.
Yeah, and you could do ones for the twins for their birthday. I mean, that's 5 months away, 6 months away.
Yeah, true. But anyway, that was one of my FOs. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to show this real quick. Because they're not finished, really. I had... I wanted to do some Christmas ornaments because we hadn't made... I don't think I made Christmas ornaments last year. And I like doing that. I don't think we did. So I was like, well, let me see what else I can do. I had just finished, I think, working on everything else. And I didn't want to get back into like my own yet. So I found this pattern, which I don't have. I'm sure I can find it. Icicle. It was like an icicle crochet. Oops. If I spelled it correctly, it would probably be better. Ornament. And I think it was from... What's the name? Here it is. It's from Yarnspirations. It's a free pattern. It's the Easy Bernat Icicle Ornament Crochet pattern. Here's just the picture. It's using this like really cute yarn with these flecks of like blues and stuff in there to kind of give it different color specs, I guess. But I had some white yarns sitting next to me, and so I made a few of them. So here are mine. I didn't think that they really looked like icicles without the specs and stuff. They kind of looked like pine cones, or
I feel like that looks like a unicorn horn.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different sizes that you can make. So I made a few large and small sizes. I thought it would be kind of cute to put them spread out in the Christmas tree, but this one looks like a shell.
It does.
Yeah.
It does look like
so it was kind of a fail, but I think conceptually it's kind of cool, and the picture looks really nice.
Can I ask?
So I'm wondering if you block it, maybe spray it or something so it maintains its shape.
Or starch it, like cornstarch.
Yeah, starch it.
Did you use a different weight than what's recommended?
No, I used a worsted weight. Fingering would be really nice.
Maybe in a fingering weight it might look a little... But fingering weight too may not give it the weight that you would want to kind help of drag it down.
But I bet if you, like I said, if you pull them apart, like it pulls apart the spirals. Yeah. And this is the same concept as the tentacles, to be honest with you, that were on the octopus. So except you're doing a couple of different things in the pattern, but it's a free pattern. It was on Bernat's website. I'll try to have that link down below as well, but just wanted to throw that out there. There was another thing that I had played around with. I was into the crochet. Once you finish a crochet pattern and you realize like how quick it is, you just, at least for me, I just want to kind of pick it back up again.
I know I haven't crocheted since, well, I mean, I've done my blanket, but nothing substantial since the Jethro.
So, anyway.
I would do more granny squares. I just don't want to weave in all those freaking ends.
I know, there's a lot of ends. And weaving in crochet ends, I think, is a little bit difficult.
I know, it's not my... I mean, I don't like weaving in any ends, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't mind weaving in ends on garter stitch. That's actually my preferred way to do it.
These, I don't even know where I got this pattern from, but I thought maybe making like little snowflakes as well.
I think those would be really cute if they were starched.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or would you do like Mod Podge? Like something to stiffen them up?
I think a starch. Like you just, I bet if you, I mean, these aren't blocked or anything. Granted, it's, I think it's acrylic yarn. It might be acrylic and wool. I'm not sure. It was just whatever white I had left over kind of next to me. I'm sorry I don't have the pattern.
Yeah, no, but they're cute.
I think they're okay. I think I think in fingering weight or even lace weight and doing a couple of extra rows, it'll look nice and delicate as a snowflake.
Yeah, I think if you block it and pin them out and then find a way to stiffen them, even that starch spray that you do for like collars on shirts, that could help.
I don't think I can... Yeah, I'm not sure where I got them from. I thought it was also maybe a Bernat. Oh, yeah. I think it's this. From Yarnspirations again. Yes, that's exactly what it is. All these free patterns for, like, crochet patterns from Yarnspirations, amazing. This is just the free Red Heart Crochet Snowflake Ornament Pattern. Say that 5 times fast. I may or may not have these listed down below in our show notes. Maybe I'll try. If I remember. So, that's...
All right.
Okay.
So next FO?
Next FO.
All right, so mine...
Oh, I have a lot of crochet in this episode.
You do?
I have one more too.
I finished my Woolens and Nosh Advent Socks 2024. I finished them on New Year's Eve day. I wanted to make sure I finished them before the new year started. I do have quite a good amount of yarn left. So I have this for each sock, and I still have some black left over for the heels, toes, and cuffs. So this is what I have. They're not blocked. I did do all 24 stripes.
It's good. It's
but
really good.
If you can tell, at my heel, I put my heel in between two. Did I?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yellow. Yes. So this... One of these fits better than the other. I think it is... This one fits really well. This one, not so much, because the heel is one stripe up. So what I now need to do, after realizing this, is I'm going to rip out this heel. I'm going to Kitchener this back together so that this pretty much looks like that. We're going to take this whole thing out, and then I'm going to put my heel in here. So it's a good thing I have some extra black left over.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's a new to you technique. You haven't done that before. Move the heel.
Move the heel. But I will say it still fits. So if I don't make the change, I don't make the change. Like, I can still wear them. It's just when I put it on, I was like, oh, my gauge changed quite a bit. Like, it got pretty loose because this sock has a lot of positive ease. And then I put this one on. I was like, oh, this one feels great. And then I looked at them. And I was like, oh, Kevin, you silly person. So what I did with the socks, I cast on 64 stitches on a US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle. I use a German twisted cast on following Andrea Mowry's tutorial. I knit a 1x1 twisted rib for 16 rows. Then I added in the striping colorway. And then I knit all 24 colors, and then I did my toe. Once I knit all 24 colors, I measured up 6 inches, and I put my markers for my heel. And I put 2 markers in, one on each side. I will say that's not my favorite way to do it. I don't like waiting till I get to the end, because it's...
You like a pre-planned...
Well, it's not really pre-planned. I think it's weird to say pre-planned and not a true afterthought. Like, a true afterthought, when people say that it's pre-planned, it's that you have your lifeline in there.
It just means that you know where you're going to put your heel.
No, but a true afterthought is that you don't have yarn there to pull out to just put back on your needles. Like, people will knit, then knit with a extra piece of yarn so that they can pull it out and then just pick up their stitches instead of cutting it later. So I prefer, as you're knitting it, once you get to your leg length, it's easier to put the stitch markers in once you knit through a row than waiting to go back and trying to follow it down to make sure that it's even. When you're doing magic loop, maybe it's easier. No, it's probably not yet any easier when you do like 9-inch circulars or DPNs, because you still have to follow the stitch from your toe all the way up. So whatevs. So I did that. I probably won't do that again, to be honest with you. I'll just not do 24 stripes in the future. But then I got to my toe, and I do the SSK and knit 2 together until I have 16 stitches on each of my needles, so a total of 32. Then Kitchener, and then for my heel, after I cut it in, I knit 5 rounds straight, Then I start doing the same thing I did for my toe, and I Kitchener once I have 16 stitches on each needle.
You could also still do 24 stripes if you were to do toe up. You know? So then you would do toe up, you'd know how long your foot is, mark your heel, and then knit the rest of it until you finish your stripes. So your leg will be a little bit longer or whatever. But
I've never done toe up, and I'm not.
You've never done toe up?
No, I've never done a toe up sock.
Huh.
I don't think I'm gonna start just to use 24 stripes.
Okay.
But this right here actually is my favorite color sequence.
It's nice. It was interesting this year because the Advent started in different places for everybody.
Yes.
So, as we were both knitting, and we talked about this on the last one probably, as we were both knitting, we were knitting different stripes, even though we were on the same day, different color stripes. So it was kind of interesting because, you kind of wanted to peek, but you didn't want to peek. But
yeah.
We peeked.
I mean, we couldn't help. We live in the same house.
Correct.
If we're both knitting on it, we have to see.
Yeah. There's no privacy in this damn house.
Nope.
Okay. So on that theme, do you want me to go? We kind of have the same.
I'm done with FOs.
You are?
Yeah, I have 3. So I talked about the hat and the glove.
I still have 2 more.
Well, then get going.
Oh. Okay. So keeping on the Advent theme, I finished my Advent project from Woolens and Nosh. I needed to pivot as well. We talked about my sock saga on the last podcast. So I decided to turn them into fingerless mitts, and I'm calling these the Advent rolled mitts. And I'll show you what I mean. So here they are. I think that they're actually really cute. Here are my mitts. You can see why I call them the rolled mitts, because I rolled up the cuffs and the tops, and I'll show you. We can roll these down too. That might be kind of cute. And then it's rolled everywhere. So what I did was I originally started with Kay Litton's DK vanilla sock pattern, and realized that my gauge was too big, the sock was too loose, and pivoted. So I used all 24 stripes, and good to know is that the DK version of the Advent, you use all of the yarn for the 24 stripes. So there's one repeat only of the DK weight yarn, so you don't have anything left over. And then what I did was then I kind of pivoted and put in for a thumb gusset, and I used I did increases, just knit front backs for my increases, which you really can't tell like a difference. You could have done make one right and make one left to kind of have them lean a little bit more, but I just did make ones like a knit front back until I got to 14 stitches for my gusset, and then I continued knitting, and when I got back to my thumb, I ended up picking up 2 additional stitches on each side, so I had 18 stitches there for my thumb, just because it looked like it was a little bit smaller. And then I carried on, and I did a 2x2 rib for a little while. So here is them. What I like about these is that you certainly can wear them full length, which is great still too. And I had them, so I wanted to finish the stripes. So usually when I knit my fingerless mitts, I kind of come to like that first like knuckle space of my pinky. I think that's a good length for me, but I wanted to get all of the stripes in, and I did a couple of rows, 5 rows of ribbing, the 2x2 rib on top. And I just bound off through the back loop. knit two together through the back loop for my bind off there. So they're very warm. You can certainly, like I said, you can extend them. They're super warm. They look really fun.
Yeah.
Like this too. But I really liked the rolled look. I think that the reverse stockinette kind of adds a little bit of interest there as well. So yeah, I modified. I'm happy with the modifications, and I'm calling these my Advent rolled knits. They are on Ravelry. Surprise, surprise. Although I didn't put any of my notes in what I did, so I have to update that. But at least the project is there on Ravelry. They also kind of look like gauntlets with a cuff. There,
they do.
Yeah, so that's them. Yeah, I think they're cute. I love the colors. I think she did a really good job with the colors this year. I will probably...
They're a little more saturated, maybe? They're a little brighter than 2 years ago when there were the black stripes. Like, it's the same... It feels like the same family, just a little more saturated.
Yeah. So...
Very cute.
Thanks.
All right, continue going.
Okay, last but not least is a crochet pattern. I did show this a couple of podcasts ago, maybe. This is the Desktop Succulent by, let's see if I can find that. It should be under miscellaneous, maybe. Negative. Maybe it's in Ravelry. Sorry. Let's see if I can find this. Library. Here it is. Desktop Succulent by Rebecca Langford. It's a crocheted succulent for your desktop. So I finished mine. Here it is. I think it's very cute. This is the pot is our really good friend Sue made these for us. If you didn't know, if you weren't watching, from Rhinebeck for this year, she gave them to the house as gifts. So ours says Needles ATR. It came with a cute little dish as well that she made, with some speckles on the inside, which is really cute. So I thought this would be a nice place to hold the succulent.
You're gonna bring that to work?
Yep, I'm gonna bring that to work, so it'll sit on my desk. And basically, here's the project. So you crochet a bunch of these leaves, and the pattern is really, really simple. And then you kind of thread them all together. I ended up sewing them, like weaving them together to keep them all, but like it fits together in this nice like pattern here. And in all honesty, it probably could use a bigger like base, but I think it looks cute in there.
Yeah,
you know, and it's got a little memory for Sue, so she'll live on my desk as well. There's a succulent. That's it. I used the recommended hook size. The yarn that I used was just I think it's Red Heart. It's right here. No, it's Lion Brand. Oh yeah, Lion Brand Red Heart. Jumbo Super Saver. We've probably had this for about, I can't even tell you how long.
Kid you not, at least 10 years.
Yep, and this is what we still have.
I don't even know what it was purchased for.
I probably purchased it to
crochet something.
Practice my crocheting and knitting when I first started.
You should make a blanket or something out of it.
It's not the softest.
Well, is it?
So, there is a blanket pattern, I think, that this comes with on the inside. Usually maybe you put can something on the... Yeah, it's a blanket
blend
pattern.
it with some mohair or something.
No, I mean, it's going to be... it's nice for any time we need a little green acrylic in our lives. The color is Frosty Green. Okay? I don't know if they still make this or not, but... There you have it. Those are all of the finished objects.
Okay. So we'll move on to whips. I have 4 with me.
Okay. I'll go first. I don't know. I have quite a bit. Let me just see for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so We should just... There's that one that we should talk about at the same time.
Okay.
Other than that, go however you'd like.
Okay. That's my one to talk about at the same time. All right. I made some significant progress on my autumn socks from Woolens and Nosh and Les Garçons. I have a hoe here. This is from their... It's a great color. I love these stripes so much.
I love that the stripes are different widths.
Me too. It's so good. Season of Socks by Max and Vincent over at Les Garçons, collaboration with Michelle over at Woolens and Nosh. The base is her typical superwash targy, 90% superwash targy, and 10% nylon. It's by far my favorite base for socks. I ended up doing a twisted rib, 1x1 twisted rib, German twisted cast on there, which I think looks really, really nice. I did a cut in heel and my standard like rounded toe. I knit the leg about 7.5 inches, almost 8 inches, I think, 7.5 to 8 inches. And I finished one, and then I cast on the second one.
Oh, is this the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting, right? So here, so I cast on then the second one. I already marked for my heel, so this is what Kevin was talking about. If you didn't, if you don't know and need more visual, this is marking where I'm going to place my heel, which is in the same spot as I placed my heel here, and actually,
no, you're right.
Yes, I'm right. Thank you. And then this is what I have left. Now, I did pull out... Oh, I have it downstairs. I did pull out some of the yarn just so I can start at the same place. I knit my socks, clearly, cuff down. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around
this, and I can't figure this out.
Okay. So, here is... I started at the same place here, and throughout this pattern, you can see that this orange stripe, right? This is orange. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. This orange stripe is followed by the same sequence, right? As you go down the sock. Same color sequence. So I started at the orange. However... It's a different color sequence.
It's not. It's reversed.
It's reversed. So...
It's upside down.
Yeah. So when you have it... So the orange stripes, they match up in some areas.
No, they match up in both. The two that you have there both match.
Yeah.
Are in the same spot.
But there's a different... And these match. But the green...
And the brown.
And this color... What's this? What would you call this color? Gray?
That's a darker gray.
Are reversed there. You see? The green here, the gray.
That's brown.
The brown. Help me.
Here, all right. So you have...
Explain it.
Green and brown. Gray and brown. Then you have brown and gray. And then you're back to the brown and green. So we tried to figure out... I was like, oh, did you pull from the center on one? Because... If you put it this way, here.
And I don't pull from the center. Yeah.
So if you put it this way, they now match, right?
Yeah, everything matches.
So it's like upside down.
Mm-hmm. It's reversed.
It's reversed. So I asked him if he had cut them in. Some people will separate their self-striping into 250-gram balls. Wondered if maybe he had done that, pulling from one direction on one in a different direction on the other, but Ray said he knit from the same ball and the same direction and did not pull from the middle. So it's really interesting.
So my thinking is that the color sequence changes at some point in the skein of yarn. And I don't know where. So when I pulled off extra yarn, like I said, to start at the orange. So I just pulled it from the outside like I normally would have knitted them. And yeah, I don't know. Like clearly I don't pull from the middle. Like it's still dense in there.
Here, let me have the hoe.
Yeah. So, I mean, like whatever, it's the same. It's the same sock. It's just, and nobody's gonna notice. But I found that really interesting when I went to go mark for my heel. I think that's when I found it. I was like, wait, did I do something wrong? I can't figure it out.
So that's really weird. So based on what you're saying right now, you would have pulled out this much yarn
Yeah.
to get to orange.
Yeah.
I wonder if the next color was green. No. I wonder if you started...
No, because regardless of where I started, the color sequence doesn't match up.
Right, I just
see?
I just wonder if what you pulled out matches this. Here. I'm just saying, like...
Oh, I don't know.
Right, because you finished the sock on a green. So then the next color would have been white, gray, gray, white. Like, I wonder if that's what you have left downstairs, or if it started literally after
Changing.
this.
I don't know. I don't know when it changed.
Really interesting. I wonder if mine do that. I should
will
knit mine
yeah,
next
you should knit yours
see
next to see.
if it does the same.
Yeah, or make a tube if you don't want to hand knit it. But anyway, I think that they're clearly it's the same sock, you know. But I just found that was very interesting. I love
It's
the color combination.
Such a good colorway.
It's like absolutely one of my favorites, and I cannot wait to be finished so that I can wear them. I just found that really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we do the next one
together? Let's get together. What do you say?
So,
and this is living in my little chalk bag that Marty made for us. Hi, Marty. How are you? Miss you.
So our next projects are is that scratched? Or is that my screensaver? That's a screensaver.
Oh,
the lines. So back in August when we were at Flock and hanging out with our friends there, Aaron from Fiber Hustle had mentioned he wanted to like do an impromptu, like super informal knit mal type of thing. Just making something from a book that you have at your house. Like, we all have books. We buy them. And we don't do anything with them. We don't make things from them. They sit here and they look pretty, along with all the yarn that we don't use. So,
yeah.
Aaron had his idea to, let's just do a New Year's Day cast on using a book that you have. A publication that you have in your home.
A
periodical.
Printed material.
Hard.
Or soft.
That you can take off a shelf and hold in your hand.
I have soft.
You have soft covers. So we were like, okay, great. And my thought was, let me find something that I can use a lot of yarn. And I decided to make from the Painting Shawls book. Got this when it came out.
Yeah.
It's signed by Steven.
Is it?
Yeah. Signed by Steven. So
He has no idea who we are.
No. I decided to do the painting waves. And the reason I decided to do this is it uses 700 yards of your main color and 690 yards of your contrast colors. So I am using 2 skeins for my main color. And then I am using 8 skeins of leftover yarn. So it says that you could use 8 20 gram minis.
Did you show the pattern?
This is I don't think that I did, probably not. This is Painting Waves. It's actually the same pattern as the border for Go-Go Dynamo. Here's another version of it.
Pretty.
And it's a 2-page pattern. That's it. Super easy. What I did to make it easier for me, since I view everything on my iPad, is I scanned the 2 pages so that I can use it on my iPad. Took them from the book, doing it on the iPad. So
that's the marriage of...
It's living in my Threads and Company bag, although he doesn't go by Threads and Company.
No.
And I just saw he is vending at the Tennessee show.
Really?
So's Leading Men Fiber Arts. And so's somebody else that I saw.
Look at fancy Chevis.
I know. Chevis is super fancy in that picture. I saw that the other day. Whimsy Stitches is vending at the Tennessee show too. All right.
With her gold gun.
So here's my colors.
Cute. They're so fun.
My main color is Lobby and Amaze Merino Super Socks. So it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and the colorway Jasper.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty.
A very gray blue with some warm speckles in it. So what I did is I came up here and I looked for 2 fingering weight skeins or a colorway that I had 2 fingering weight skeins for. So that's what I settled on for my main. And here are my contrasts. Color number 1 is Eggnog from Mace of Skeins. Color number 2, I'm going to put this down here, this is something about BB-8, and this is from, I think, Candy Shop. I use this in one of my Vertices Unites. This one, I'm not sure. I think this is Lobby and May. I think this is from Ray's shawl from 2 years ago. Ray, wasn't this in your Lobby Anime shawl?
Lobby Anime shawl?
Yeah, the kit that you bought from Stephen and Penelope for...
Oh, my Twists and Turns.
Twists and Turns. I think this might be from your Twists and Turns.
I think you're right.
So this is color number 3. Color number 4. This is Barnyard Knits. And it could be... Let's see. I might actually have the tag for that one. I don't think I have the tag, but I know this is... It may be something about a cupboard. Antique cupboard. And then, after I was done with grays, I decided to go with gold. So this one is Alolo Did It. This was used in my Slipstravaganza shawl. It's something gold is that name. This one, I don't know who this is from, but it's a nice, like, yellowy gold or brown gold. That's actually color number... It actually goes this way. Yeah, I don't know who some of these are. So it's going to go this.
But that's the beauty of using like,
this.
leftovers. Oh, yes.
Right, so just really slight transition between them. And then this one is... I know this for sure is Lolo Did It. This is Earwax.
I can't believe that we still have some of that yarn left over.
Right? Oh, this is Lolo Did It Stay Golden. That's Earwax. Oh, wait. This is...
Oh, Rusted Wagon Wheel.
This is Savvy Skeins Rusted Wagon Wheel.
Remember that colorway? We were obsessed with this colorway.
Oh, wait. In this one...
Look at you. This is how we keep track of our things.
This is Country Cupboard from Barnyard Knits. This is Rusted Wagon Wheel from Savvy Skeins. Mm-hmm. This, Lolo Did It, Stay Golden. These two, No Idea. And then this one is Earwax from Lolo Did It. And this...
That was a quotable Dumbledore's club.
Yes. And this is what I have so far. So I wanted to go light to dark for both colors and really just have these slight transitions. Mm-hmm. So you're going from this white to a beige and orange, a gray with more orange in it, and then a dark gray with a lot of brown and oranges in it. And then you have your golds ending with your dark
It's going to
brown.
look like stained glass or something.
I think
beautiful.
This is going to be stunning.
Epic. Yeah.
So, what's really cool is that I'm going to use up the majority of this. Mm-hmm. I'll probably have these 2 skeins. I'll probably have about 100 yards left.
Yeah.
Right? These, I'm only going to use 20 grams of these, so I'm still going to have a crap ton of yarn left over for all 8 of those colors. It seems to be a pretty quick knit, pretty memorizable. So my plan is to maybe just do like an 8.
Yeah.
The 8 contrast color repeat maybe every week or every 2 weeks, because there's no rush on this. It's, could take me all year if I want to.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be a really nice way to try to use some yarn. I also thought it would be really cool to do it in the opposite way. Like, have your contrast color stripes be the main color that's in stockinette, because it might pop a little bit more, and then use contrast colors for the other stripes, which are in garter. So it could look a little bit different. You could do the whole thing scrappy if you wanted to.
You do you, boo.
Yeah. So that is that cast on.
Lovely. My participation in this Mal and my New Year's Day cast on is from Rib Magazine. We've talked about these. Unfortunately, they're no longer in print. This is from 2015, I think. I don't know where I got that from. 2016. This is rib number 1. It's called Patina. And the pattern that I chose is a pair of fingerless mitts. I wanted something smaller because I have a lot of larger projects kind of going on right now, and I didn't want to feel like overwhelmed. These are the Urban Aran Mitts by Robbie Laughlin. These are them there. They've got a nice cable up the center. Looks like a moss stitch along one of the sides with some stockinette in there. The pattern calls for some positive ease, which is really interesting. Usually knit your like mitts and socks and things with negative ease.
I wonder if it's because of the cable. The cable tightens it up.
It could be. But it does say in here, although mitts are generally worn with negative ease, the design is intended to be worn with 0 ease or up to a 1/2 inch of positive ease. So interesting. So I cast on. I didn't do much, but I cast on and started the cables. I'm doing these in the round with our Chow Goose Shorty set. Here is the start of the cable there, and a 1x1 rib going across. And guess what? This pattern I did check right before we started. It is on Ravelry, and it's a free pattern. So bonus for you there, and then bonus for me that I can talk about certain things. So you do each of the gloves or the mitts. Let's see. They're different. So you do the right glove and the left one, because so you have a left leaning. You have a left leaning cable on one and a right leaning cable on the other. I think that's really, and then where you're putting your thumb is a little bit different. So I just cast on. I cast on with a German twisted cast on just because I find it the most easy and the most elastic of the the long tail cast ons. I am using something sweater.
Blue Sky Fibers?
Blue Sky Fibers.
Is it Blue Sky?
Yeah.
That throws me off because of the diner. Every time I say it.
I know, same. I don't know where I put the...
Well, you have some skeins behind you, right?
Oh, yeah, I kind of do, actually. Don't I?
Well, while he's looking for that, I did not say my painting wave shawl, I'm knitting it on a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter needle, and that is the one recommended in the pattern.
Great. Glad you said that. I am knitting it out of Blue Sky Sweater Worsted. It is in the colorway Chocolate Milk. It's a worsted weight, 55% superwash wool and 45% certified organic cotton. I have about 11 to 12 skeins of this. I think now, because I was I intended to make a sweater, and I still do, but I wanted to see how it knit up. And I thought it would be really nice to start with the mitts and then see how it goes, and then I can have a see how the cables look and all of those different things, and determine what kind of sweater I want to make with the rest of the yarn. So far, the yarn is really easy to work with. It's very soft. It's cotton, so I can't break it, and it's got a little bit less give when you're knitting with it. So that's something that I just need to consider when I do decide to do a sweater. But I think the stitch definition is really good. And the cables really pop right now, so we'll see how it goes. And then this is I'm knitting these on the smaller needles right now because I'm doing the cuff. I'm just at the point where I have one more row to go, and then I'll increase to the larger needles. So this is knit on a US 6 4mm needle for the cuff, and then I'll go up to a 7 for the rest of the body. Is that what you call the rest of the mitt?
Yeah.
What do you call that? Hand?
Yeah, your hand.
My hand. I think that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I love the color though. I don't know. The chocolate milk color for me was really good.
I
think
agree.
I look good in this color.
It's more taupey than chocolate milk to me. Like that. It's not as brown as chocolate milk.
I
is.
like my chocolate milk on the lighter side.
Shut.
I do.
Get out of here. Such a weirdo.
No, I do.
All right. Next up, I will talk about this project. This is living in my Hohi & Co. Pampa bucket. This was a day after Christmas cast on because Ray went back to work. I was here and I was like, all the Christmas gift knitting had been done and I needed something to do. So I decided to cast on with my hand spun. This is the yarn that I spun from the fiber that was purchased from Theaterbook Farms. It's 100% BFL. And this is a spin along and knit along with our friend Michael from Piece for Piece Crafting and our friend Carrie from The Creative Obsession. So we are all spinning yarn from Feederbrook and going to knit the Traveler's Cowl by Andrea Mowry. And this cowl was made with for the use of hand spun and different gauges. So just to have fun with the cowl.
Yeah.
So when I finished the spin, I was able to ply it into 2 separate skeins and I wound them up. I'm knitting this on a US 6, which is a 4mm, and I don't know what weight this hand spun is. It's like DK worsted, but here's what I have so far. So you cast on here, and it grows out, and I believe this side here.
It's stunning, Kevin. Like,
Thanks.
Seeing it on camera with all the colors and the lighting that we have looks incredible.
This side, I believe, is going to be where the neck is sewed or seamed together. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in the pattern, it says to follow the pattern until you get to a certain length. I think it's like 8.5 inches. So I got to 8.5 inches here, but with one less repeat than what the pattern calls for, which I think is going to be fine. But yeah, this is actually.
I can't believe that you spun that. It's
this is
good.
This is the right side. So yeah, I love how it's stripy. Mm-hmm. I love blue and orange together. It's one of my favorite combos. It always has been. I love. You can't really see, but in here, when you get up close, is like a blue and brown. Here you have a really light blue.
I love the light blue.
It's very squishy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it feels like when it's washed because BFL, we've talked about this before, is a more tactile
Yeah.
type of yarn. Like it's got
Rustic.
some crunch to it. So this definitely has some, crunchiness. I think I overplied it in some places, but I love it. I think
I love it too.
it's a pretty mindless knit. It's a 10-row repeat. So once you kind of get in the flow, did I make a mistake? No. I mean, I've ripped some out before, but now I think I'm in a good spot. So yeah, I've been enjoying this. It's a nice knit.
It's really cool that you can start with fiber and, spin up the yarn, and then it just amazes me, and then knit a project with it.
Yeah, and I'm knitting the adult small. So that's going to give me a circumference of 24 inches. I'm supposed to have 400 yards, and I don't think I have it, but I don't know. I may have used my yard counter wrong.
Yeah. I think you did, unfortunately.
Who knows? I have it written down, and I put it in the drawer of how many it said I got. But I was closer to like 280, 300 instead of the 4 that I need. But I have a ton of fiber if I ever need some.
Amazing.
So this is the Traveler's Cowl by Andrea Mowry. There's also a shawl and a sweater and a hat.
Oh, a hat could be cool.
Yeah, so I feel like Andrea Mowry has a lot of patterns that lend themselves well to using hand spun. Yeah. I don't know of a lot of other...
Well, she knits a lot, or a lot of her patterns calls for, like a hand spun or a spin cycle or something like that.
Right. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I think...
You have a lot of yarn there.
I do. I have a ton.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
I figure if I could get halfway done with this, then I'll be fine, because this was the smaller of the two cakes.
Yep.
This is the larger of the two. This has a lot of blue in it, it feels like.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
So that's Traveler's Cowl.
It's so great, Kev.
Thanks.
My next two are things that you've already seen. Kevin and I both went through all of our projects, like our whips in-house, things that have already started that we're going into 2025 with, and we each made a list. So this was my list here. I'm not going to go through each one, but I crossed off the crochet succulent because I was able to finish that before 2025.
Look at my list compared to yours.
I know.
And I don't even know if this is all of it.
Yeah. So, we really have the best friends. So,
I'm like, where are we going?
Max and Vincent.
This is actually quite funny.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. So I pulled back out my mysterious Ray socks, and if you remember, I was out of the contrast color, Emma's Stone.
Well, let's not say out.
I misplaced.
Correct.
I misplaced the contrast color. Our really good friend Tanya reached out and said, "Hey, since you ordered the next socks, the season of socks, do you want us to include another skein of Emma's Stone in there?" We just added in. It was like, yeah, that's fine. Let's add it. I don't know, because at that point I was like, I think Kevin's going to order that soon, so I'll let you know. Well, I forgot to let her know, and Kevin ended up ordering it. Had already ordered it, and I didn't know. Anyway, long story short, we get our which can't wait to show you. We get our summer of socks, or our season of socks, the winter colorway, and there's a skein of the Emma Stone in there, the mini, so I can finish my socks. So I thought that was great. So I wound it up, went back downstairs to kind of pick up. I thought I was at the point where I can put in my toe. I did notice that I had made a mistake on the socks. I dropped some stitches, just I knit in the dark, basically, at our niece's recital a while ago, and I never went back and fixed it. And for some reason it was bothering me, so I ripped back a bunch of the sock and kind of started again. So as I'm starting it, and Kevin's still going through some of his whips and things, he pulls out this round up cake.
I was actually up here.
And he's like, "Hey, I found this. Could this be the yarn that you're missing? Here is the yarn that I caked up that we just got with our, with our, thing, our club. It's the same goddamn yarn."
I don't know that it is.
It
is. Looks like it could be. This looks...
No, feel it. It's exactly the same.
Maybe it is.
It is. It's the same yarn.
Yeah, I don't...
And I had already used this for the cuff. So, isn't that always the case, though? That you end up finding the thing that you're looking for.
And I don't even know what... So, up here...
Here's our office.
There was...
yarn room.
It had to be in with the scrap yarns.
Yeah.
To use for blankets. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how it would have gotten in there. It's weird. Whatevs.
Anyway. Found it. This is living... So I'll show you where I have. This is living in my Matterroot bag. Which I love this bag. So I pulled back a bunch. And I started again. So here's where I'm at. So this is going to now be an active whip again. So I'm hoping to finish this because I absolutely love the colors. Like I said before, the mini is Emma Stone and the main color is Mysterious Ray. It's from our Mysterious Podcasters box. I've got quite a ton of this yarn. So my plan is to do about an 8-inch leg. That's about the maximum that I'm comfortable with. And then I'm going to, clearly, I have enough yarn to do contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. I did the cuff for about 20 rows, 2x2 rib, German twisted cast on. I'm knitting these on 9-inch circular needles. And, I just marked my heel. So there we are. So I got the leg to where I needed it to be. So it's about 8.5 inches. So you'll be seeing that. Nothing much to say about that, except now I can go back to having that active. Because I really like the contrast, especially with a solid. I like having the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs.
Correct. All right, so I'm going to go pretty quickly because we have to leave in like 20 minutes.
I have 3 more.
I have 2 more.
Okay.
And we have to go in like 20.
Okay.
So the next one...
I have to tinkle in.
I'll do a brief update on. This is living in my Paradise Island bag.
Great bag.
I know. Knit City, Montreal?
Knit City? No. Yes.
No.
Are you sure?
Vogue.
It was?
Vogue. Yeah, Vogue, our first year. All right. This is my... what the heck's this called? Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. I pulled this out the other day when I didn't know what to knit on, and I made quite a bit of progress in one day. Was here, and I'm up here.
Wow, that's great.
So this
You've gotten
is
a lot done on this blanket.
Avocado Toast by Amanda Knits, who does not dye yarn anymore.
But that's one of your favorite colors.
This is Bob's Garage by Trilogy Yarn. This is Something Mint by Lolo Did It. This is the yarn separately that I used in the Love Note. Mm-hmm. I held these two together for a Love Note. And then this is, I have no idea. That's a lie. This is Superfine Yarn Co. Who doesn't dye yarn.
Or single ply.
Yeah. Who doesn't dye yarn
yeah.
anymore. But, just to give you an idea, this is where, how much I have done.
It looks
of it.
So good. I can't wait for this to be done.
So I do think I'm going to do, after this, one more stripe. That would give me 7. Mm-hmm. I'm going to measure it and see what the width is. And then I may do a stripe of woolen zanache after the 7th.
That could be so cool.
Then do 7 stripes of random fingering after the woolen zanache for a total of 15. Mm-hmm. So it's either going to be 15 stripes or 19. Yeah, I think that's what I decided. I think that's how it maths. But it's random leftovers, held single, knit on a US 3.25. Does that sound right?
It sounds right. 3. Do you have it written down on your?
Not in this. It's in the old one.
Oh.
I think it's a 3.25. A 3 millimeter.
Everything came
or
out.
US 3. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither of the needles have the writing on it anymore. Okay. I know that these are...
Is it the recommended needles?
Probably.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. And I don't know how often I'll work on it. You know, I have 3 blankets on the needles. Well, 2 on the needles and 1 on a hook. But it's nice to just pick it up and go. And I have in here, you know, the rest of the colors for now. Mm-hmm. And then once those are all done, we now have a really large bin downstairs of just fingering weight leftovers that I can just go and grab. And I try to use ones that are 20 grams or less.
Yeah.
Because it gives me a little more variation. If I did, you know, like that one from like Mace of Skeins, I think we only used maybe 10 grams from it. I'm not going to do a stripe that's 80 grams of one color. Because then it wouldn't be as fun.
Right.
So that's that.
Great.
Oh, and the join method I'm following Cahill's.
Yeah.
She has a project in her Ravelry page for her jelly roll blanket, and I'm using her method of joining instead of K. Jones.
Great. I wanted to throw this out there, and we'll have this in the show notes. The Threads and Company bag that Kevin showed, that's no longer the name. The name of the of Jay's company is Gussie Bag Co. There. And he's got some really, really beautiful bags. And they're all like the same style. They're just absolutely gorgeous. This is the Hey Nashville colorway.
So yeah,
which is really cool.
He'll be vending at the Nashville Festival.
So, anywho, that's that. So next, I'll show. This is really quick. I picked this back up again. This is not slow horses.
That's a television show.
That's a TV show. This is Wild Horses by Ann Hansen. It is I've been working on this for quite a while, since April of last year. I made a little bit of progress on it. I'm knitting my front panels, 2 at a time. I was here, so I put about 4 inches or so.
Oh, nice.
On the front panels, I do have the back panels already completed. The yarn is stunningly soft and absolutely beautiful. This is in Better Breakfast Fingering, the Bare Naked Wool's Better Breakfast Fingering. The colorway is called Milk and Honey. And I'm knitting this on the recommended needles, which I believe is a US 7 or so. 5. Sorry, it's a US 5 because it's fingering weight. So it's a US 5. I did a tubular cast on 1x1 rib. Did the same thing with my back. And yeah, it was nice to be able to pick that back up again. So my plan is to finish that. And this is the back. You can see how long it's been sitting in the bag for. It's so wrinkly. But I made a really good progress on this, and then I put it down, and...
You know why? I think we tend to put things down as events are coming up, too. Yeah. Whereas, like, what can we bang out for Rhinebeck, or the kids for Christmas, or things like that. So, starting in, like, August, September, a lot of our knitting takes a back burner to kind of prep for that type of time of season.
This is a great base. It's 55% merino, 35% de-haired alpaca, and 10% nylon. Bare Naked Wools by Knit Spot, Better Breakfast Fingering.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's a little on the pricier side, but it's absolutely worth it. And this is living in... I moved this into my Tanny Casey bag that we got at...
Cake Palooza.
Cake Palooza. Okay, moving right along. My turn still?
I have one left.
Okay. I have 2 more sweaters to show.
All right,
I have 3 sweaters.
Next up, this is my also a New Year's Day cast on. For me, it is kind of like my Make 9. I have 9 sweaters I plan on working on this year. Whether they all get done, who knows. But I started one. This is called Sandport Sweater by Isolde Teague. It is a striped top-down drop shoulder, but the drop shoulder has some raglan shaping. And that's kind of why I wanted to try it. I watched her podcast where she talked about this. I'm not doing this version because that ribbing's too much for me. But when she talked about the construction, I thought it was really intriguing. So I will be knitting this version, and I'll make mine a little bit longer and maybe some additional ribbing. And my sleeves will go longer too. I am knitting the 6 size. This has a ton of sizes in it. It has a lot of options for the hem, sleeve length, armhole depth, bust size. Like there's different instructions if you're like an A to C cup or D or larger cup. So it's really, really well thought out. There's so much information in this pattern, but I've hit a snag. First off, have it in my Attenti bag.
It's a great bag.
And I'm knitting this out of the Patagonia Organic Merino in 2 colors. So my main color is mahogany, which is this brown.
Really pretty.
And you can see it has a lot of colors in here. There's some reds in there, some beiges. Really, really beautiful color. It's really actually great to work with.
Yeah.
So I have knit a good portion of this since New Year's Day. Or New Year's Eve, rather. So the way that this starts is you knit here, you knit your back, cast on, you do some increases on both sides, and then once you finish your increases, from right about here, you knit a certain number of rows, add in, start your striping, put them on hold. Then you pick up where you did your increases, and you start working your front left and right panels, or shoulders rather. Then you join.
Yeah.
And you continue to knit. Where I've, kind of hit a snag is that in the pattern, I'm doing the tall armhole depth, and that's for people 5'8" or taller. In the back, after I got my increases done, you knit a total of 32 rows, it says. Starting with a right side row. On the front, once you join, on the front, you're working a right side row. You knit your right stitches, right shoulder, create some stitches here, and then you pick up your left. The next set of instructions after that says to work 32 rows, ending with a wrong side row, which couldn't work because you start those 32 rows on a wrong side row. So I went to the pattern page. Somebody asked a question about it 5 months ago, and there hasn't been a reply yet. So I asked the same question. I was going to wing it, actually, and just knit 31 rows.
Right.
But I compared the other pattern for the regular armhole depth, and there is a difference in the number of rows from the back and the front. So if the tall armhole depth needs more in the front, I could mess up the pattern. So I'm kind of at a standstill, and they're out of office until Monday. So maybe I'm hoping to get a response next week.
Or if anybody's knit this before, like that's on here maybe.
Yeah, and it's just kind of hard because there's not a lot of projects on Ravelry.
Yeah.
And I feel like this issue may have only come up if the person knitting it was knitting it with the tall armhole depth.
Right.
I feel like that there's a discrepancy between the two, and I don't feel comfortable moving on until I know for sure.
Right.
Because even like that is long, it's longer than, I can't tell if from here to here is longer than here to there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so otherwise I think it's a lovely pattern.
You've made a lot of progress so far.
I did go down 2 needle sizes, or a needle size. It's recommended a US 5. And my gauge, I got 19 stitches over 4 inches, and you're supposed to get 22. So I did another gauge swatch on a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. And I got 21 to 22, so I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. And then for the smaller needles, I went down a half a size.
Okay.
It recommends a US 3. I'm using a US 2.5 because I happen to find them. Yeah. And that's a 3 millimeter, so I thought it was a good compromise instead of going down to a 2. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. It will be on hold until
you hear back.
I hear back and
hopefully
get some clarification. Back. If I don't hear back from Ravelry, I may just see if there's an email address I can send a message to and find out that way. I was hoping to get that done before Vogue, but it doesn't look like that will be happening.
It's a bummer. All right. My next two... All right, I'll show you one that you've already seen. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this one yet, if I'm going to continue, or if I'm going to pull it out and do something different. But I probably will continue, now that I'm looking at it. So I did show this already. This is the So Basic, modified So Basic from Max the Knitter. I am using Upland Fiber Co. yarn in the colorway Glacier, which is absolutely beautiful. I do have the ball band, I believe, for that one. It's in his core fingering. It's 50% American Cormo and 50% American Corriedale. I think I said the colorway was Glacier. It is so really, really amazing to work with, and I knit a hat out of this, and I really love how it fits. So what I am doing is I wanted to do a fold over collar. So I did a 1x1 folded over collar. You can see that I attached it here to begin knitting. I've completed all of the short rows for the back now. And I am working on the raglan increases. I don't think you can really see them here. So I kind of hit a snag because I was working on this while we were socializing and knitting with Michael, actually, from Upland at a local cafe in Norwalk, which was incredible. We've gone a couple of times. We get together about once a month. And I kind of got distracted and I lost track of where the beginning of the round should be. I wasn't really following the pattern all that well. So it's my fault. So I'm just kind of on the fence, do I want to continue and have another fingering weight, I don't know, plain Jane kind of sweater, but it's nice, So I might continue. It's on the fence. I'm going to put it on hold right now because I've got a lot going on. So I'll pick that back up at some other point. Okay, and then my primary focus has been the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. It is Kevin has knit this before, and the sweat twice before, and
Yeah,
the sweaters fit him absolutely beautiful. Let me just I'm sure you're aware of this pattern because it's a very popular, very simple sweater, raglan sweater pattern. I did make a slight modification to this one as well. So there's the Cozy Classic Raglan. I am knitting this out of Red Stag fiber that I got in Flock. It is on his Yorkshire DK, which is 75% Polworth and 25% Masham. It is so soft and like elegant feeling. The colorway is Brick Tavern. It's a beautiful tonal brick red color.
Yeah.
So here it is, part of his Manor collection. And here's what I have so far. So this is the front of the sweater.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I've separated for sleeves. I've knit about 1.5 inches of the body so far. I love how this is knitting up with some of that. You can see the tonality in there. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The one thing,
and I will say,
yeah, go ahead.
This is probably truer color than what you've seen back here. Up close, it's a little more blown out, but that's more
it's
of the red.
It's a deeper red color.
Yeah, it's a browny red.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's a brick red. I mean, it's a great. I think this is going to look so good, and I don't own anything this color.
No.
Well, I do have a red sweater. My flax was my very first sweater, but
that's a cranberry red though.
True. So what I did was I followed the pattern for their tubular cast on, and I thought it was outstanding. It was super easy to do. And then I knit everything else to measurements and on the recommended needle sizes. The difference that I did was instead of in the pattern, it calls for a like lifted increases and no stitch like in between your raglan. So it's the increase followed by the increase, which gives it a nice, the pattern looks nice with just that simple raglan there. I like the more substantial raglan, especially for my body. So I just did an inch. Once I did my raglan increases, knit a stitch, moved the marker, knit a stitch, did my raglan, increase. So I have 2 stitches in between my raglan increases. And I think it's going to add a little bit more for me anyway.
And you did make one left, some rights.
And then I did make one rights and make one lefts. So that's the only difference that I did. I am not going to add in any waist shaping to this because you said you didn't do that, and Your sweater fits you really well. So yeah, that's where I am. So I'm hoping to have this done. I don't know. It's my primary focus. I don't want to give myself a time limit.
Yeah. Are you knitting really on recommended needles? I don't.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm knitting on the recommended needles, so it's a US 7. The collar was on like a US 2. The cast on really, really tight, and then it was a US 3.
Yeah.
A US 4, and then it's a US 7. Let me just make sure. US 2, US 3, US 7. That's crazy. Big difference. So, but I think the collar looks really nice here. I did my short rows in the back. So I'm hoping, where you pick up... They're German short rows?
Yeah.
I think?
Yes. No?
Yes, they were German short rows.
Those are my preferred.
Mine too, but they create a little bit of a bump sometimes. When you're knitting them together, just a slight one. So I'm hoping with blocking.
Oh yeah, blocking will come right out.
See how where they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it will come out with blocking.
Yeah, I think it will too. Like even just stretching it a little bit.
Yeah.
Out, it's doing fine. So I'm super, super excited about this. Oh no. Why
are you using one for both needles. You've been doing that a lot lately.
You know why? Because
you don't know where the other one is?
I do. It's on another project. I've been too lazy to go in to grab another set.
So, that is all of our whips and FOs.
That's all I have.
So, all right. So, I'm going to do a really quick owl post. And this is just a really nice gift that was sent to us around the holidays. And I thought I'd share it. I don't think Ray has his with him.
I do. It's over here.
Okay. So this is a needle case holder from Redesign, which we've talked about their stuff before. We actually have, it's one of the prizes for the Socks for Sam.
Yes. And it's freaking stunning.
So it opens up like this, and it has these two things for all your needles, a pocket, spaces here for your darning needles, spaces here for your cords, pocket, 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 pocket.
Look at all the pocketses.
Pocket. And I think that's it on the pockets, right? Yes. And none on the outside. But this was, number one, a very nice gift.
It's gorgeous.
I think this is a really great option for a needle case because it folds down to this.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for this because that was a really lovely gift to receive right before the holidays.
And this is my color. It's a chocolate. What's it called? Oh, sorry. Wood smoke.
What was mine called? We had like ideas. We tried to come up with names
Yeah.
beforehand. I thought mine's a whiskey-ish.
Yeah, yours was a
in person.
whiskey-ish color.
This one is called walnut gold.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's so nice. So now that we've shown them, we can start
using them. I really want to get the 39 bag from them that we saw at Pick Up Every Stitch.
What does that look like?
Or no, I didn't see it at Pick Up Every Stitch. Stephen West.
Oh.
It's a really nice burner. All right. And then last up is some Break in the Bank. I have two things. One is this was a purchase made at... Oh, wait.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Just
That's
one?
really weird.
Yeah.
I know. I was like,
Surprised.
wait. Stars Hollow? I just wanted some new stitch markers, and I love blue. So I thought this was a really cute set. They're metal. They fit up to a US 13, which is a 9mm. And yeah, that's what I bought there.
Lovely. When I was a young warthog, when I was there, Kevin mentioned that there was some yarns that we had never seen before. This was one of them. I've heard of the Fiber Co. And I know that we probably have some of their yarn, like the Croft. Is that the what? You were saying something?
No, remember I just said how I knit my Stephen West shawl out of the Fiber Co.
I don't pay
Earlier
attention
in
to
this
what you're
episode.
Saying. I don't remember. Yes, I do actually. Anywho, this is their lore base. It's 100% Kent lamb's wool. I grabbed one skein of it to try. I thought it would make, it's a DK weight, I believe. I thought it would make a really cool like cabled hat pattern. So that's what I got.
Nice.
And of course it's in, the colorway is called Serene. It's right up my alley. You know, I love my
neutrals.
So that's that. Can't wait to try that. It smells lammy. It's processed in a mill in England's historical textile region of West Yorkshire. Lore is made of 100% lamb's wool from the Romney sheep. Oh, so it's not... Wait, why is it called lamb's wool if it's a sheep? Oh, it's because a lamb is a baby sheep?
Yeah.
The more you know. And then I picked up this book by Tony Lipsy. It's called The Tunisian Crochet Handbook. If you all remember, I do have a set of Tunisian crochet hooks that I got last year sometime. during the dishcloth revolution. And I crocheted only one dishcloth, so I thought it would be really great to try some other things because I really enjoyed Tunisian crochet. I thought it was a really cool process. It was very like meditative, how you're just like moving the stitches across the crochet hook. And so I got the Tunisian Crochet Handbook, a beginner's guide. There's some really amazing patterns in here. Quite honestly, I would probably try to make most everything in here. So my goal this year is to, and this is going to be my new to you, contribution. Even though I did one crochet dishcloth, it was just the like normal Tunisian crochet. So I picked out a pattern that I would like to do, and these dishcloths are really cool too. Isn't that stitch like cool?
Yeah.
It is a blanket. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. It's called the Hudson Tassel Throw. I'm not going to do tassels because I'm just not a tassel person. But it's using Barocco Vintage Chunky, and it has like a really cool, they're calling it a honeycomb stitch. So here's the blanket. I think it's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
And it looks so like cozy and warm.
The color looks like your chocolate milk.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But so I am going to, I'm going to use the actual recommended yarn for it because we think that they sell them they sell it at Skein.
Yeah, they may.
I don't know if they have the chunky.
It feels like they should.
That color is called Oats. Of course, neutrals. It's right up my alley. But it just looks so cozy, And honestly, the directions are like this big for it. There's 1, 2, 3. There's
13 rows.
Yeah. Well, you're repeating rows 3 and 4. I'm sorry, 2 and 3, like 130 times. So it's only really a 2-row repeat.
Oh, nice.
Right? I could do that. No problem. But there's some other really, really awesome patterns in here. There's another blanket, which maybe by the end of the year, there's a hat too, which I think looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I know, and this shawl looks really cool too. Hold on, let me show you this blanket here. This is it's called the Motley blanket. It's in Tarja. I don't know if Intarsia is a little bit different. Doesn't that looks nice and cozy?
Yes,
yeah, it's the one on the cover. Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be my new to me. Now, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. And then the last thing that's a break in the bank is this came in actually the day of our last podcast.
Yeah, so we weren't sure if
we didn't want to show it then. So everybody should have received this. This is the Socks or Season of Socks collab with Les Garçons and Michelle over at Woolens and Osh. So it's got your reds and pinks and greens and beige, black, and white in here. So excited to knit these. Maybe I'll cast these on this weekend.
As soon as I finish my other ones, I'm going to cast these on.
So that's everything that knit-wise. And then we did mention we'll be at Vogue in 2 weekends.
Yes.
So we will not have a podcast in 2 weeks. It will probably be 3. And then you'll get us 2 weeks in a row. And then we'll go back to like our every other week. As long as our life allows for that to happen that way. And then
hasn't changed in 4 years. So.
No, I'm saying, but like we have ideas of a lot of trips coming up, so it may be scattered, and it's actually in months of 3. It's April, May, then August, September, October are
spoken for.
Yeah, who knows? It could be March too. March, April, May.
What happens in March?
Then August, September, October. But whatevs. We don't have time to talk about what we've been reading and watching because we should have been on the road 13 minutes ago. So,
we're going to go knit with our BFFs.
Yeah, we're going to go knit with... I know Kim and Kate. I don't know if Laura's going to be there, but we said we'd be there at 1:30 and...
Well, she said come after 1:30.
After 1:30.
So,
So, all right, then we'll do a quick what we've been reading and watching. Okay? Quick.
Okay, you're the one that talks forever.
So we watched The Day of the Jackal. Peacock, watch it. If you like spy and you don't mind violence, just watch that show. It was fantastic. I think we did it in a night.
We did. It was great. He's a great actor.
Everybody in that show was fantastic.
Agreed.
Then we watched Treadstone, which is a take on Jason Bourne universe and like the beginnings of Treadstone and kind of like what happened now after Jason Bourne. And it was good. Don't watch it.
It's a combination of a prequel and a sequel.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was good, but it got canceled. We did not realize it came out in 2019. So after season 1, you have there's nothing.
I know.
So
it wasn't the best, but we would have probably watched season 2 just to watch it, but there is no such thing.
And then we just last night finished season 2 of The Diplomat on Netflix, and they know how to end a season.
Yo.
They just know how to end a season. Mm-hmm. And Carrie Russell is just fantastic in that show.
She is.
She's so good. She's just really good. She was fantastic in The Americans, and she's fantastic in this show.
You know who else is really good?
She was great in Felicity as well.
I never watched Felicity. But I don't know who the actor is, but who plays the oh god. The British guy.
The Prime Minister?
Nope. The foreign
secretary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's so familiar, and I was...
You know why? He reminds me of... God, what's his name? The dude who plays... is Spawn. Spawn?
Spawn? The really bad movie Spawn? That came out, like, in the 90s?
No, what's the one where the goopy alien lives inside the guy, and it turns into him?
Venom?
Venom. Yeah. He reminds me of the actor who plays the dude from Venom.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's his mouth or his nose or what. I meant to say that to you the other day. Yeah. You'll have to watch it and see.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
And then reading really quick for me, Sorry. I can't.
What? Did I miss something?
Yeah. All right. So I was reading Oh, crap. I've actually finished quite a bit. So I did finish book 3 in the Hollow series by Kim Harrison, Every Which Way But Dead. I have not continued on because the books are no longer free on Kindle Unlimited, and they are not available through the Libby app at our library. So I have to suck it up and learn how to listen to Audible and just get with the program and see if I can listen to it.
Even if you just go out and drive around the block and listen, you know?
Maybe. But I did, however, after that, I read books 4 and 5 in the Heartbridge Winter series by N.R. Walker, which is a male romance series. The authors released a book every Christmas season in this town of Heartbridge, Montana. And it's the Christmas Cupid. Somebody foreign somehow finds their way at this town at Christmas time, falls in love with the townie. So I finished reading Deck the Fire Halls and Holiday Heartstrings. And I am currently reading Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I told you about it.
No, but why does the title sound familiar? Did I read that?
I don't know. It's a fantasy book, and it is fantastic. I read the prologue, and it sucked me in immediately. And every night that I've been reading, I want to continue reading it.
That's really nice.
And I still have no idea what's going on. Our characters don't know what's going on either. So I'll find out, I think, soon. But that's what I've been reading.
Fantastic. I've been reading the same 2 series that I've been working through. I've been listening to the 13th Paladin. It's phenomenal. I'm literally giving it like 4 stars every time, 4 to 5, whatever the max stars is. I've been giving it on Goodreads. I'm currently on, let's see. I am currently reading, I don't know what number this is. The Battle for Hjalgar.
Hjalgar.
It's Paladin, the number 6, the 13th Paladin number 6. Listening to that, I cannot recommend this series enough to listen to. I don't know what it's like to read it, but I think listening to it, the narrator is just absolutely wonderful. It's by Torsten Weitze. And then I am reading The Torch That Ignites the Stars, which is book 3 in the Arcane Ascension series. I think this will be my last book in this series. It sucks because I think there's 2 more, but I'm not a huge fan.
Then there you go. You don't like it?
Yeah,
don't move
I'm powering
with
through
it.
because like there's some potential there, but it tries to be. I just don't know if like the humor that they are trying to put into it is just going over my head, or I just don't find
you
like,
can't
what
get
their
past
jokes.
the day of the weeks. That's what it is.
It's really frustrating.
I think that's what it actually is.
Maybe.
So
It's very complicated. It's a very complicated like magic system. The concept is that these characters get attuned by climbing this like tower, which they call spires. So it's kind of like a video game, I guess, if you were to go like level by level. And on each level is like a dungeon boss kind of thing, and you beat them, and you do these things, and you get to move on to the next level. And there's like loot that you can get throughout your journey. But in order to become an attuned, you have to do a judgment, which is kind of like an initial go through one of the floors. It's like a special judgment type of floor, and you have to do a couple of different things. If you're worthy, you get granted an attunement, and it could be a bunch of different things. There's like, you can be an elementalist, you can be an enchanter, you can be like whatever. You just can't choose what it is. It just gets assigned to you. You can do multiple judgments though and get multiple attunements. And then depending on where your attunement is placed on your body, depends on the type of abilities that you have. So people can get it on their neck, and it or their lungs, like their chest area. It's associated with your lungs, and you can, your speech is like the source of your powers. If it's on your head, your mental is like the focus of your abilities. Legs and arms, it's like physicality and whatever. Anywho, it's very, very complicated because the more... What?
Nothing, please.
Because I went a long time
No,
speaking.
No, I... Just please continue.
That's really all I have to say. I think that the potential is there. It's just, for me, it misses the mark.
Okay.
I do feel like you're secretly making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
My heart can't handle it.
No, I'm definitely not making fun of you. Look.
Don't add us, please. We're best friends. We're married. We love each other very much. There is no animosity there. I promise you all that. Okay. Those are the 2 things that I'm going through right now.
I'm done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it.
I think that's it too. So we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yes.
Don't
3
look for
weeks.
us in 2 weeks. We'll see
be
you in
back
3.
in 3.
Unless you're at Vogue, then look for us in 2 weeks, and you'll see us live in person.
Yes, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right. So until then, how do I end this now?
Have a great 3 weeks. We'll see you in 3 weeks.
Okay.
We'll see you thrice. We'll see you
in a thrice night.
No, we'll see you in 3 weeks.
In 3 moons. Nope.
No, that's months.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in 3 weeks.
We'll see you in 3 Saturdays.
Can't. All right. Bye, guys.
Thrice Saturdays.
Right.
Goodbye.
Stop.
Stop it.